My name's James Hewes and I'm the Publishing Director for GN Publishing, which is part of Gulf News in Dubai. I mean, obviously we have the core audience for the business, which is news. That's a very large and well-established audience in the Middle East. We're now trying to develop more audiences around certain niche content areas like automotive, home and garden, watches, women's lifestyle, men's lifestyle. We focused a lot in the past on desktop web, but now having to have something that's adapted for mobile is going to be really important for us. I guess the other major technology for us is social, or the other major phenomenon really is social. Social media has become, for the PR industry in the Middle East, probably the most important tool for them now, more important than print, more important than television. So having a robust and vigorous social media presence for all of our brands is really important, something that we can show brands that want to partner with us. We've got a good dialogue with our audiences. In terms of differences, I guess the first one is you've got to resolve the language and the audience issue in the Middle East, because you've got lots and lots of different audiences, and the mistake is to think that they're all the same. So you've got a very large local audience of Arabs, you've got a lot of Indian expats, you've got a lot of Western European expats, and how you market to each of those audiences is different because they have different usage habits and different consumption habits of media. The other thing is the language issue, so you've got English and Arabic, you've got quite a large base of very affluent audience in English, you've also got a very large base of mass consumers in Arabic across the whole region, so you've got to choose with your digital properties whether you're going in English and reaching a more niche but very upmarket audience, or whether you're going mass with Arabic where you can get the numbers. So you've got to really think about the different ways in which you can reach those audience groups. In terms of the differences between the UK and the UAE, I guess the biggest one is that we're not quite at the level of sophistication that you see in the UK in terms of having really good targeted content, doing SEO, doing SEM, doing social integration with websites. We're still learning all of those things that have been taken for granted, let's say, in other countries of the world for the last few years. The nice thing about that is that we can learn from what's happened in those markets. We don't have to make the same mistakes. We're actually trying to see what's happened as best practice in somewhere like the UK or the US and adopt it from the get-go rather than trying and failing lots of different times. I think the ones that were mentioned earlier in the conference today are probably key. I'd say mobile, native advertising and video are the three things that we're really thinking about right now. How can we make sure that we've got the right product for people to access our content on mobile devices, the first one. The second is making sure that we've got the right video content so that we're making something that's sticky. People want to come back and check our video content regularly. And I guess the third one is native advertising. How do we start to move from the old-fashioned display model into something that's a little bit more of a content marketing model, which the brands in the Middle East are starting to ask for now. How do we integrate that with our existing processes, with our existing business? It's something that is a big challenge for us. But I think you add those three things together, there's still an enormous potential for growth in our market.